paradigm is a theory or methodology that shapes the way we see the world. The dominant paradigm of change management is problem analysis. Problem analysis is the traditional method of reasoning that attempts to gain an understanding of a system by analyzing its constituent parts. This analysis is based upon the premise that our basic unit of interest should be the individual parts of a system. For example, studying each part of a machine or each step in a process or each role in an organization. Reducing systems to their constituent parts and then describing the system as simply the sum of the parts is called reductionism. Scientific management and Taylorism seek to understand an organization in terms of the time it takes to complete each individual task, and that's an example of reductionist thinking. Reductionist thinking was sufficient in the past when we could analyze parts of a system that had low interconnectivity and low interdependency, but today the rate of change is exponential. Every day, we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. And according to IBM, 90% of the data in the world today has been created in just the last 2 years alone. Big data analytics, convolutional neural networks, and artificial intelligence are impacting human systems. As science uncovers more about quantum physics and chaos theory and systems theory, we're learning more and more about the power of the relationships between the parts. The study of the relationship between the parts of a system, those that have a high level of interconnectivity and a high interdependency, is called synthesis. And from this idea emerges a new paradigm, a new way of understanding the world. Natural systems, like ecosystems and human social systems, are at their best when understood in this way. This paradigm is preferable when seeking to understand human systems. Human systems are complex and dynamic. To organize and sustain human systems at peak performance, we need to understand the relationship between the individuals that form a connected whole, when that whole is performing at its best. Traditional change paradigms see organizations primarily as constellations of problems to be analyzed and overcome. From this paradigm, leaders study problems, analyze problems, and take steps to fix problems. But this reduces the collective image of the organization to a collection of problem parts, and change management to simply problem analysis. So even if the problems get fixed, the organization only returns to baseline or the status quo. The alternative is to shift paradigms, to shift from a problem analysis paradigm of change management to a generative paradigm, that of synthesis. Synthesis understands organizations primarily as interconnected and interdependent networks of positive human potential. From this paradigm, leaders synthesize the relationship between strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and resources in such a way as to render weakness irrelevant. This is accomplished through a revolutionary change process called appreciative inquiry that uses questions to understand the generative forces that bring life to human systems, because human systems organize in the direction of the questions that we most deliberately and frequently ask. Appreciative inquiry is the opposite of problem analysis. Appreciative inquiry is the process of synthesis. It's generative. It's a process of synthesis orbiting around the positive core attributes of an organization. Appreciative inquiry acknowledges the interconnectedness and interdependence between and the power of stories and shared images to generate high performing relationships into the future. So you can cling to old paradigms of analyzing problems, or you can embrace a new paradigm that synthesizes strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and resources to uncover possible new worlds through appreciative inquiry.